Hey guys, this is MHA Universal and welcome back to What If Deku Had an Adaptation Quirk. Basic premise of his quirk is he's able to adapt to his environments as well as other people's quirks either at will or subconsciously. So, where we left off, Deku was running in to save Katsuki Bakugo. And as he's rushing in, the sludge villain is flailing his arms at Deku. So All Might ends up you or ended up having to step in and saving both him and Katsuki. Um, while Deku is still or While Deku is scolded for his behavior, Katsuki is praised, and All Might is being swarmed by interviewers. So, as Deku is walking home, he runs into Katsuki, who basically does his whole "I don't owe you anything" rambling speech, and Deku just stares at him confused. While after Bakugo walks off, All Might pops out around the corner and surprises Deku, and then continues to cough up blood like he does in the anime. This is where All Might says he wants to pass on his quirk to Izuku Midoriya. He then ru- he then Deku then accepts All Might's offer, as he is still a huge fanboy in this version. A little bit less of a degree of a fanboy, but still a fanboy nonetheless. All Might ends up telling him to meet him at Daguba Beach as for training tomorrow for the next day. Then he goes home, does what he does in the anime, and then we get to the training of 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 Deku. First, All Might asks Deku how much training he's done within with his quirk. Deku says, "Well, right now I can activate it at will, but usually it happens subconsciously." Then Deku has while Deku has does says this, he shows the he shows his muscles off to All Might and says, "I thought I was inheriting your quirk. You are, but an unprepared an unprepared vessel would be a catastrophe. Your arms and legs would shoot off." Then Dek then Deku is decides, okay, so depending on the size of the trash that I'm lifting and the way I'm lifting it, I'll work out different muscle groups. And All Might's like, exactly. So we go on for about, I would say, 7 to 8 months, somewhere in there. I'll say 7.5 months. So then Deku has finished cleaning up the beach, and he cleaned it up to the degree that he did in the anime. And he did overexert himself a little bit, but not much because he still works out at the gym. So the Deku ends up running, or ends up inheriting One for All a little bit sooner than in the anime. While Deku can, when Deku finally feels One for All rushing through his body, that he decides that it would be best idea to just test the waters without actually doing anything. He accidentally activates 100%, which makes massive wind pressure shoot off of him and his entire body ache to the point where he feels like he can't breathe. So he immediately deactivates One for All. So first, All Might has to teach Izuku how to control the percentage of One for All. So Deku decides, because he has a quirk in this one, he figures out full cowling right off the bat. So he hasn't he doesn't have to worry about full cap, or he doesn't have to worry about, sorry, hold on. So sorry about that little break. So Deku um is learning what percentage, and he can go all the way up to 10% because of his prior training, as well as his own quirk. I'm gonna say that One for All boosts his own quirk in a way that makes it so no lo- Deku no longer has to consciously think about it and can just call upon his own quirk subconsciously rather than having to maintain a conscious effort. So he can just be like, okay, I want to harden my skin, and then his skin will harden, and it won't turn off until he says to turn it off. So Deku then runs up to All Might and says, I figured out what my limit is. And All Might says, oh, I can do 10% of one, I can use 10% of One for All without breaking any bones. So Deku, or yeah, Deku has already learned full cowl, and he is now sparring with All Might, who is using 20%, because the way, at least my head canon, the way that all for or one for all works is deku, or is every time it's past town it doubles its power. So just to keep up with Deku, All Might is having to use 20% of One for All. So All Might then you accidentally goes up to like 25% and punches Deku and ends up breaking one of Deku's ribs. So even through Deku's hardened skin, because while hardening your skin is able to make you more durable to like slicing and things like that, pure brute force is still kind of hard on the body. So he decides then to train his own quirk as well as One for All. Now we get to the UA. I'm gonna leave it to you guys. Or I'm gonna leave it as a mystery for now as to what he did to train up his own quirk. So Deku kind of just runs to the halls of UA in order for the entrance exam. He ends up using One for All to get there. Hold on. So when Deku gets there, he shuts off his One for All quirk and then accidentally trips on himself just because I want this interaction to happen. So Deku now has now, or Uraraka catches Deku and introduces herself. So Deku, being a little bit more familiar to talking with people and who is also a little bit more sociable, Deku kind of just says hello and introduces himself. And he says, well, we better get going or else we're going to be late. And I'm going to make this a little bit of a shorter video. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you guys want, hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.